Hi there. So we are in the Sublime Text website and we'll download Sublime Text 3 in order to install and configure Sublime Text as the default text editor for Git on the Windows platform. Now since my machine is a 64-bit machine, I'll click on this particular link which is Windows 64-bit and it says you have chosen to open Sublime Text build 3114x64. So x64 indicates that it is 64-bit. So it's an 8 MB file. Let's save it and I will download and install in this particular directory which is Bibhash downloads in my F drive. So let's click on the save button and let's see what is the status of the download. The download is done, so it was pretty fast. So as you can see, we have downloaded this Sublime Text binary installer in this particular directory, and now we'll double click this file to install it. So let's double click on it. So I'll allow Sublime Text to make changes in my PC. So I'll click on the yes button and it opens up the wizard. So it clearly says this is a Sublime Text 3 setup wizard. So I'll click on the next button right now and I will choose the default installation directory. So this is C:program files Sublime Text 3. So normally when you install a 64-bit software on Windows, it installs in this directory which is program files, and if it is a 32-bit file then it installs in the program file and then there is a bracket x86. So let's click on the next button. So earlier I had a installation of Sublime Text 3 and I am doing this fresh installation to actually show you the installation steps. So I'll choose the earlier existing directory which is C program file Sublime Text 3 and I'll click on the yes button and you can add it to the Explorer context menu. So basically when you right click on any artifact, files or directories, it add Sublime Text in the right click menu. So that is the Explorer context menu. So it's good to have it. So let's click on the next button and let's click install. So the installation is proceeding. It should not take much time and it is done. So let's click on the finish button. So now let's head over to the C drive and you can see we have the program files here. So as I was telling, this is the program file x86. So this is for 32-bit software. So normally here it is installed in Windows. So since our Sublime Text was 64-bit, we got it installed in the program files directory. So you can see here the Sublime Text 3. So let's click on it and you can see all the binaries here. So this is the default installation path for Sublime Text 3. So this is the executable that we'll be using, subl3.exe. Now since this directory is not in the path variable, if we go to git bash and we try to type subl to invoke the editor, it will say that the subl command is not found. So what we need to do right now is to put the installation folder that contains all the executables in the path variable of Windows. So for this purpose, we need to open the control panel. So you can open the control panel from here by typing control panel. So I'm using Windows 10. If you are having a different version of Windows, you can try out in a different way. So here is a control panel. So I click on it and the control panel opens. So we'll go to this particular one, which is the system, and click on it, and we'll go to advanced system settings. So click on it. Now this is what I have been talking about, the environment variables. So if we click on environment variables and we come here to the system variables, as you can see here, and here you can see we have the path variable. So you just click on the edit button here, and if we scroll down, now let me tell you, if you are having Windows 7 or an earlier version of Windows, it will look somewhat different, but the basic thing is same. You need to go to control panel and open the environment variables and track down the path variable and you just edit it. So for us, we have a different user interface for Windows 10. So right now I'll click on the new button since I want to add the path C program files Sublime Text 3 to the path variable. So I click on the new button here. So it opens up a placeholder. So let me go to the Explorer once again. So I right click on it and copy the path and come back to our environment variables. Okay, so it vanished since I exited from it. So I'll click on new once again. I'll right click here and paste it. And now I'll click the OK button. Click the OK button here as well. And click the OK button here in the system properties as well. Now we need to return to the git bash. You'll still not find subl in the path because we need to restart bash. So we'll exit from the bash and we'll restart it. So I have my shortcut for git bash here. I'll click on it. So git bash has started for me. Now if I type here subl, which represents the executable for Sublime Text 3 and press enter, and here you go. We have a shiny new text editor which is a Sublime Text. As you can see here, it shows it as unregistered because we have not purchased a license. However, as I said you, there is no time limit on evaluation. So in practical terms, Sublime Text is free for now and it is an extremely powerful text editor. So you can just exit from here, clicking on File menu and clicking on Exit, and you are back in the bash terminal. Okay, so now we have downloaded Sublime Text binary, we have installed it, and we have added the Sublime Text 3 executable in the path variable of Windows. So what's next? So the next step is to configure Sublime Text 3 as a default text editor for Git. So as I showed you in the earlier review lecture that currently the default text editor is Vim. So which is normally the default text editor when you have a new Git installation. So we are in the bash terminal. So we'll change to the git fast directory. So it's not necessary that you need to change into some directory. We can always stay in the home directory and do the configuration. Remember that git config command is one of the rare commands of Git that works both within a Git repository as also outside a Git repository. So I have several Git repository here if I do an ls, but I will not be getting inside any of the Git repositories, and I will execute the git config command. So it's git config -- global, and then we need to configure it as the default text editor. So we'll use the core.editor argument, and now we need to provide the path for our Sublime Text 3 installation. So we have the double quotes, then you need to put a single quotes. Now it is in C drive, so you put a colon, and in the forward slash, as opposed to the backslash we use in Windows command shell. So it's a forward slash in the Unix style. So it's C program files / Sublime Text 3. So we are not typing in the case that you could see here. There is uppercase you can see here for S and T here. But since in Windows things are case insensitive, so this thing will work for us. /subl.exe, which is the executable that we'll be using. And we have the single quotes closed now. Then you have the option W, and then you have the double quotes closed. So specifying the W option will cause the subl command to not to exit until the file is closed. So this is the entire command here. Now the command has extended into the next line because it's a long command. Now let's press enter, and well, we have the configuration done. So let's check the configuration using git config dash dash global dash dash list, press enter, and here we have the configuration written in our git config file. Let's clear the screen and let us now get inside a git repository. So let us get inside the test repository we have, and let me clear the screen. Now that we have configured our default text editor of git installation to be Sublime Text 3. So as you can see here in the test repository, we have a uncommitted changes as indicated by the plus symbol here. We can check this also using git status, but you don't need to execute the git status because we now have a custom bash prompt. So let's do a git commit, and now we'll not provide the option M that we usually do now that we have a default text editor. Now let's press enter, and here you go. We have our shiny new text editor Sublime Text opened because it is right now the default text editor. Earlier, when Sublime Text 3 was not the default text editor, it was opening the VI editor. So let's type a message, our first commit using Sublime Text. So let's click on File Save and then File Exit. So as you can see, the commit is done. It says one file changed, one insertion, and this was our commit message.